the doctor was like, oh, we're going to take this out. And I was like, oh, when should I come back? And she's like, oh, no, right now. It turned out to be a melanoma, early, like very early stages. That was one of the greatest news like calls we've ever gotten. What's up, brother? I'm sorry, is he walking up a mountain? I think he's pretending not to see me, but he's going to come right for me right here.
What are you leaning towards these days? Because I've actually only seen Fortnite really, but that's only a kind of like look across your channels.
I'm a little addicted to League right now, and it's nice that I'm playing with one of my buddies, Dennis, who's he's a huge gamer as well, and he's just getting into the game for the first time, like really grinding it. So playing a lot of League. Fortnite this season has been, Fortnite's like at its lowest viewership and players that it's had in a really long time, like I think ever actually.
That's one of my questions, actually. Yeah. Well, while you're there, do you think that Fortnite is on the wane?
I think that the Battle Royale is, and maybe just Battle Royales in general. I'm not sure. There hasn't really been a new one. Like I think the biggest one ever was, well, that's not even a question. It was Fortnite. Call of Duty, their Battle Royale was, done really well, and that got a lot of viewership and a lot of numbers and a lot of traction as well. But like even that one's starting to wane a little bit. I think it's the only ones who are really, in my opinion, putting an effort to to be creative and to be different is Fortnite. And I think that unlike every other game, a lot of people aren't paying attention to this. Like Fortnite has its own like creative hub. The most similar you can compare it to is Roblox, even though they're kind of under fire for a lot of things. But it doesn't get enough love, right? Like there are tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that are just playing custom games in Fortnite. And I think that the Battle Royale mode is kind of like dwindling a little bit, but like there are still plenty of people that are playing the game. They're just playing it in their own way.
Do you still enjoy it?
I do. But like in small bursts, like, long Fortnite streams, they're just not, they're not what they used to be. I'm also 34 years old. So, gaming, long gaming sessions that like don't require ranked gameplay, which it's just like that, like triggers a different part of my brain where I can just play forever. And I don't really play, there aren't that many people playing ranked Fortnite as well. So those takes a long time to get lobbies and stuff.
And this you might have been joking about this, but in my research, I saw something where you said, did you say Overwatch is over or something like that?
Yeah, Overwatch is over. Yeah. Theirs was just like they created a brand new game, and it felt the exact same. Right, like the mechanics felt the same, the game felt the same, the champions and the heroes felt the same, the maps were, you know what I mean? So, like, in my opinion,
you wouldn't say that about Fortnite then?
No, not at all. Like Fortnite's not going anywhere, and it never will. But like Overwatch, their issue was, in my opinion, they just kind of like, you can't fake games anymore. You can't fake like, oh, we have this brand new game coming out, and then it's like the same thing. Like the gamers and like they're just too aware and too woke, and they want authenticity and real games and like meaningful updates, and they go a long way, right? Like I look at Stardew Valley. Actually, it's so funny. My wife just sent me a Stardew TikTok this morning of people that were like playing one of the like summer theme songs and how much went into it. There was like 20 people playing different instruments, but that game, like it's one creator, right? Like one person like developed that game, and he just puts his heart and soul into it. And it's one of the most popular games out there. And people are begging for updates, and when they get them, they're ecstatic because he's passionate about it. And the game, again, he's just putting time into the game, and it's actually meaningful, and that goes a long way. And I think that that was kind of, Overwatch missed that. Call of Duty is just dwindling, significantly right now, because that's just what their entire brand has been for the last 10 years. I've talked about that forever, right? I mean, they have like 8 different studios working on the game. They're cranking out a Call of Duty every year. And what can change in a year? Like what meaningfully can change in a year that is like different and authentic and like it's just all the same stuff over and over again.
We're here to talk about your charity stream, which sounds like it's going to be brilliant. But can you tell us about where it came from? And I know, I'm sorry that you've talked about this a lot. I know you've done that, but if you could do it again for us, that would be helpful. So
absolutely.
Your journey, is quite a scary one, isn't it?
Yeah. Reality kind of sunk in pretty quick. We were going on vacation. We live in Florida now, so we've been around the sun and, just out in the sun more. And Jess, my wife, being amazing wife she is, we were about to go on a trip to the Bahamas or just out of the country, but it was going to be a lot of sunlight and stuff. And she's like, let's get checked out for your moles. And I'm like, I'm 34. I'm fine, honey. Like, it's like old people things. And she's just like, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do it. So like, let's do it. I'm like, okay, fine. So I'll kind of summarize it. So we went to 2 different spots. The first spot just said, hey, they saw a mole on the bottom of my foot. They're like, let's keep an eye on this. And then the second spot, the doctor was like, oh, we're going to take this out. And I was like, oh, sure. Let's do it. When should I come back? And she's like, oh no, right now. like we're gonna scoop some out now and we're gonna test it. And I was like, right now? And she's like, right now. I'm like, oh dude. I mean, going into the doctor's office is already a stretch. I feel like to like just kind of abruptly go in, but then to be like, yeah, we're gonna like cut this out like today. I've never had a doctor appointment like that ever, right? It's always like, oh, we'll see you in a week or 2. And so yeah, they just numbed up my foot, took a little bit out, like a little scrape out, and then sent it in, and it came back. She kind of freaked me out because she called and left a voicemail, and she was like panicky and like, you need to come in and we need to, so that didn't help. And then I ended up like texting the other doctor who I knew and I met from the gym because it's his practice. And he was just like, it's going to be fine. Just come in. We're going to, we'll talk to you about it. So it turned out to be a melanoma early, like very early stages. So how like, in a super basic thing, how skin cancer works is like the deeper it goes like into your skin, the longer it's there, the deeper it goes, and then eventually it can grow into the blood, and then that's when it can spread to your whole body. So we got it before that. That was one of the greatest news calls we've ever gotten. They got it all. It didn't spread. It wasn't touching the blood, and yeah, I mean that was the reality of that. The recovery process of where it was on the foot was like annoying. Anyone else would have been fine. They would have been able to live their life. Like I had it on the center of the bottom of the bridge of my foot. So like there's not a lot of extra skin there too. So like it was just super tight when they sewed it back together and gave it the stitches. It was terrible. But and then fast forward even further, I had another one on my thigh that I spotted, which I was like, felt great I could kind of spot something that was a little off. That one was pretty much the same concept, right? Same thing. Early stages, caught it early, and that's what this stream is all about. That's why what the partnership with La Roche-Posay is all about. Early detection and awareness is what we're going for, and we're trying to raise 250,000.
So that's the target. So how do you think you're going to do that? 250,000 is a huge amount of money.
Yeah,
you've done these streams before for cancer, haven't you? I remember I just read that your brother did one and you got 95,000 or something, but that is a monstrous sum.
Yeah. So the set yourself up for success, right? Like I know that my wife and I have allocated an amount that we're going to donate to the cause as well. We've reached out to several of our partners to try to get large sums of money from my contacts and relationships that I've established in the past. So I think that's the goal, right? Get all this stuff done beforehand. Try to, just set yourself up for success. I'm not going to sit here and try to, hope and pray that my viewers will allocate $250,000 of all of their money to this charity and this cause. Like everyone has causes that they give to on their own time and their own terms, and some people might have already given their charity for the year and things like that. So every stream is different, and we haven't had like years to build this up. This isn't like our 10th year doing it, right? So we don't have like regulars that will show up and and give to it. So yeah, we're confident that we can raise a lot of money. Will we reach the goal? Like I think that's going to be up to the public, hopefully, and some maybe what's the old meme, like a Nigerian prince just came into a massive sum of money and he's going to take care of it all.
I actually had a mole. I've got a mole on my back that my wife spotted very recently, and it's funny, doing this talk with you has made me like, I need to go and I really need to go and get it checked out.
Dude, the best part about these practices is like they're in and out, man. In and out. Dude, it's so quick. You are not in this emergency room for 5 hours waiting to be called, because you're not going to go to the hospital to do this. Dude, they're so efficient. And then even when they're removing them, it's like, it's quick, super quick.
When you're sort of planning and thinking about your 24 hours, can you just give us and give the reader and the audience a couple of the things that you're most excited about? Are there a couple of things? Obviously you got surprises, but are there a couple of stunts or things that you're planning? Because at the moment all I've got is there's going to be a big stream, and there's going to be Fortnite, and there's going to be talking about melanoma. But have you got anything that you could give people to tune in?
Yeah, well, we have Dr. Sugai coming in to explain and break down like a little bit of, so that's going to be a cool appearance. He's I don't want to call him a celebrity, but he's, a very famous TikTok influencer and doctor as well when it comes to skin stuff. So that's going to be great. He's going to come in. I think he comes in at 11 Eastern, so 10 Central. So it's pretty early in the stream. So that's going to be fun. If we hit certain goals, we have great like future streams planned that are going to be hit right for the donation goals. So that's going to be pretty hype. Yeah, I think Yannick Sinner playing with him is going to be one of them. We have great giveaways as well. We're giving away 2 power GPU PCs. Also going to be giving away some like La Roche bags of, bag of goodies and a lot more, right? So lots of giveaways and things for people to, sustain the attention span of a 24-hour stream, even though it's just 12 hours on my end, which is a lot. That's a long time now. I used to be able to rock out 12 hours.
Are you doing the first 12 hours?
Yeah, I think I'm doing the first 12.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the.
I'm also excited about at the very end, the last hour. I literally just had this conversation with my assistant. We are going to be doing the last hour is going to be PEAK with the Australian streamers that are going to be playing next, and I'm passing the baton on to them. I love PEAK. I've never even played it, but I've seen clips of it, and the game is super fun. It's super friendly. So that's gonna be a really cool stream as well. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I haven't played the game yet, so
So is it just those 2 games, Fortnite and PEAK?
Fortnite, Marvel Rivals, and then the last hour is gonna be PEAK.
Right. Okay. So you mentioned about you can't do 24 hours anymore, and one of the things that I want to talk to you about was your age and your longevity in this game. You are, as far as I can tell, I started reporting on esports and gaming. I don't know, as you were just before you started coming up, I suppose, and you seem to me like one of the kind of OGs and one of the longest standing and longest going. How do you keep the passion? How do you keep that drive to go on stream all the time?
Yeah, it's tough, man. The last couple of years have been rough to push through like the noise and the haters and a lot of people just being like really rude. Because obviously I'm not pulling the viewers that I used to pull in Fortnite, right? And I'm one of the only I think I am the only streamer on the planet who is pulling like 100,000 viewers consistently, and then is now pulling like I think I get like 7,000 or 8,000 combined from my YouTube and Twitch if like there isn't a big update or anything like that on Fortnite or Marvel. So like the internet and trolls remind me every day that like and it's something that we like the moderators are just constantly like banning and blocking. I mean, it's literally every day as well. Like I'm just getting berated, online. So it's tough, but I mean, I do love it. And I have, a community that is still strong and stays with me. And it's like, friends that I still play games with that always help too. Back in the day, it was just so easy to log on and invite a bunch of my friends like, Tim and Lupo and, all these streamers and just grind content for 12 hours. That makes it easier when you're doing it by yourself and alone, like playing alone. Like it can be a little bit overwhelming when you've been doing it for a long time,
but you carry on.
Yeah, man, got to carry on. I mean, dude, I love it. I'm a gamer and I'm an entertainer at heart. I always do it. It's in my blood. I've been, I was doing impressions for my family. We would come out of a Shrek or a movie and I would just quote half the stuff and everyone would be laughing. So it's just, I love doing that. I love entertaining. So, it's I've been doing it for 14 years. So, my wife and I have been talking about what would the next steps even be, and we still don't know. So
you've got no plans to hang up your headphones.
Not official. No.
What does that mean?
I don't have any official plans. No, but we've talked about it for sure. Yeah, it's right. That like so.
So at what point would you stop? So clearly you're still really enjoying Fortnite. The popularity's gone down, but you're still doing it. So would there be a point in which you think, actually, you know what? I've only got hundreds of viewers. This isn't worth it. Would there be a point that you say, have you got a number in your mind where you think, okay?
I do, yeah. I have a it's not even a number. I think I have like a feeling that if like, it's not going to be worth it. Like mentally, like there's just going to be, we'll just get dogged on and that kind of sucks, but it's just the reality is like, I don't want to be physically, not physically. I don't want to be like abused by the internet, and I do think there is a moment to retire, right? Like there is a right moment. A lot of people say there isn't. I definitely think there is. for all people, for like, you know, sports players and things like that. Like you don't want to be remembered as a, you know, a joke essentially, right? Like you know, Michael Jordan keeps playing past his prime, and now all of a sudden he hasn't, you know, he's got losses in the NBA finals instead of winning, you know. So
what would you do if you weren't streaming, do you think?
it's a great question, dude. That I think that's actually probably one of the barriers of the reason I haven't stopped streaming is I don't know what I would do. I mean, I'm 34, dude. I'm 34, so I've been doing it for almost half my life. It feels like, and yeah, it's like, what do you do if you've been painting your whole life? And it's like I don't want to paint anymore. What are you gonna do? I don't know. Like, yeah, I do enjoy voice acting, and I've had some roles in the past, and I do enjoy that. It's fun. I don't know if it's something that, you know, I'll continue to do. I probably will. It's like, you know, I've been focusing on my physical health and mental health. So just continuing to do that, right? If I'm not streaming for 4 or 6 hours every day, like that's just more time I can spend working out and, you know, going to the gym. And, you know, I've always wanted to like get really good at cooking or baking. Like I love baking. And, you know, Jess, like she likes cooking, but she also doesn't like it. So like if I don't know, I would also love to make her amazing meals, other than just the pasta dishes that I can make that she loves.